What's going on, guys? I gotta get this out of the way. That's a bit of a spoil for videos coming up. Speaking of which, I think I can run Discord through my laptop. Well, I am. Oh, let me just run over here to my Discord real quick. There. I spelt most of that wrong. Whip-a-doo. I should be able to just run both through that. Hello, Galactic Bays. Oh, it's really like weirding me out because everything's inverted. Hey, Mako, how you doing, buddy? Oh, been better, been worse. You know the spiel. Just a heads up, we are live at the moment. I'm sure as you've deduced. Perfect. Yeah, it's been pretty warm up here too. We're at like yes, I am running Discord. Can you hear me? Can you hear Mako all right? Uh Galactic? No, he cannot hear you. Okay. Hmm. Well, let me see if I can find my external mic. Probably not. Yeah, I have zero clue who that is. I can always just run it through my phone. I'll just run Discord through my phone. Let me just hop out real quick. Yeah, just a second, man. That's not what I want. Here it is. There. We are back.
Nice.
They ought to be able to hear that, I imagine. Oh. Invite.
Hi.
Copy.
Holy crap.
Aha, there we go. What's up, Mako?
I'm just chilling playing a game of mine, trying to level a character up, right?
Oh.
And there's a mission there's a 5-part mission. That's ridiculous considering every part lasts roughly 20 to 40 minutes.
Holy cow. I gotta say, my best my personal favorite upgrade that I have done to I guess recording studio would be a little bit of a stretch to call it because it's just my room. But for doing live streams and stuff, I got myself a mini fridge. Hi, Galactic.
Yo.
Yeah, so I'll put my ice cold root beer right next to the warm heat lamp. Oh, where?
Get a nice warm root beer.
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm not expecting an insane amount of people to join into this, but I figured I'd go live for those who want to join in.
Of course.
I gotta say, it's really disorienting me because like everything I do is mirrored on my laptop, and every time I see myself, it's like, what's going on here?
You know what? That's pretty fair, obviously considered.
My dyslexic self is so confused. Yeah,
I think I have some plans for next year.
Oh, do we now?
Yeah. I'm not confident if I want to spoil a few of them or not, but they exist.
Well, I will drop a little bit of a bombshell. I have a surprise guest who is going to be joining us for the tournament to make the first round an even field. And also, the first video for the year is going to be a tournament battle. I have already recorded the first episode.
Oh, wow. So you're ready for it?
Oh, yeah. Yep. 2024 was absolutely horrible for me and my family. So I'm looking to make 2025 well, I'm looking to turn it around.
Oh, that's a good. Those things happen.
Yeah. For I'm not gonna go too into detail with it, but
Of course.
I ended up losing 2 family members and a pretty good friend this year, and it really put a damper on a lot.
Sorry, man.
For those who have been in my Discord, they've heard bits about it, and I've posted. I try and keep a lot of my my family out of the camera unless they want to be on it, but I have posted a couple of things about it, but yeah. So got hit pretty hard a couple times this year, but 2025 is well, it's hopefully going to be my year.
It's got potential.
I think
it's going to be a good year.
I'm hoping. For this channel, the game show series is hopefully going to be taking off. I have locked in as Mako, Ren. I believe JH is gonna lock into it for a definite. Luxo and Artemis, who are actually going to be helping me as far as like characters and stuff. So basically, let me pull up I actually have notes for once. I just need to find where I put them. So essentially, Bayboy, Ren, Mako, and JH Games are going to be our 4. Yes, I am Artemis. They are going to be my main characters for our story. And for our main story, I would like to do maybe yes, very much new year, new me. I am looking forward to leaving 2024 in my past. This has been one of the worst years for me and my family, but either way, I'm not gonna dwell on the bad. My goal is I'd like to do 4 or 5 storyboards for this one campaign. As far as how many live streams that's going to be, I couldn't tell you. I guess it kind of depends on how much fun we end up having with it and how long they go. Hey, Luxo, your ears must have been burning too. I was talking about you and Artemis. Um, a little bit of a spoiler. Artemis and Luxo are actually going to be helping me as my half of the cast for the game series. I'm really looking forward to it. And obviously, I'll do like mini campaigns where I'll have like one or two people. But the main campaign right now, I have two storyboards drawn up for it, a half board for episode one. Um, and I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but I will say the name of it. It's going to be Storyboard Adventures Hunt for the Four Jokers. And that alone is enough spoilers for those who are a part of it or those who know Beyblade, a decent chunk of what it's going to be about. But I'm looking forward to doing that. As usual, my goal is to get more skits out. I'd like to do some unboxings. I've got some really big 3D printed projects, and I will spoil those. I've got plans to do 3D printed Beyblade X stuff and like MFB stuff. Luxo, I believe, was the one that actually has started helping me out with one of those projects. And yeah, so I'm going to be dropping a bit of coin into it, of course. My goal for 2025 is actually to host 2 3D printed tournaments. Obviously, we're starting the year off with one. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to do the next one. And then that's really kind of it for. Hey, Artemis. That's really kind of it for this channel. For the maximum RPM RC, I've recently started a big bucket list goal of mine was to take an RC car up a bunch of the high peaks. In New York, there's 46 high peaks. I don't physically think I'll be able to do all of them just because some of them are like multiple day things. Hey, Mim, how you doing, buddy? And yeah, but I got it's going, man. It's going. I got big plans for that. I started 2024 off as my mountain climbing journey with them. I started with Bear Mountain, which is a very, very local one to me. I did that with my buddy Connor. Drinking and gaming tonight. Well, I guess do both responsibly then. Don't do anything I wouldn't. If you do, name it after me. And yeah, so I did Bear Mountain and St. Regis Mountain. St. Regis Mountain was one of the big Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Good game.
Yeah, very good game. I'm more of a pro street man myself. I am the hidden class. But yeah, St. Regis Mountain was what gave me the idea for it, and I did St. Regis. I had an absolute blast with that. I'm really proud of how that video turned out as well. You can find that on Maximum RPM RC. More mountains coming up. I've got crazy RC builds planned. I want to go racing again this year. I want to dust off the old Slash and win some more trophies. And then for the garage channel, we've got mini bike content coming up, four-wheeler content, and yeah, just a lot of content pre-recorded. Road trips, build videos, and I'll have to look at that later. I got build ideas. I got parts for my Street Bob. I'd like to pick up a second bike at some point, and I want to get a project car finally. Um Also, big goal. Me and my dad are working on starting a YouTube channel together, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of big plans coming up for the year. Ah, hey, man.
Hey. Join on in here for a bit. No way, in the sky.
How you been, buddy?
You know how it goes. You know.
I do.
I don't know. They know something.
Yeah. I know a couple somethings. I know things about stuff.
Oh. Let me invite you into a server that you might like.
Boy, I can only imagine what this is about.
It's a creator server.
Oh yeah, I was part of that already.
Oh, did you already leave?
Yep.
No. I revamped it to be a full-blown server.
Nice.
For like labs and such.
Well, not to disrespect you or anyone in there, but there's a couple of people that I don't really care for in there, so.
Understandable.
And it's one of those. Another big thing is a lot of people actually don't know this about me, just because bunch of YouTube channels, Instagram, and TikTok. I hate being online. I absolutely hate it.
Here you are as a content creator.
I have zero interest.
You just mentioned,
the irony.
It really is ironic. I am an absolute caveman. I'm horrible with technology. I can't stand being on the phone. Like, I don't mind doing like Discord chats because I can typically do something, especially when I'm live streaming or doing the game show. But I am the farthest thing from social that you can find.
Low key, I agree.
I am the feral caveman that lives in the woods and feed the raccoons. And I mean that in little. And I mean that.
Like a real nice life.
I mean that in every sense of the word. We got a wicked heat wave going through right now too. It's like, I think it was like 50 the other day.
It was warm for a couple days.
Oh my god, it was 70 for me.
Lake effect snow.
We also got like negative 30 coming up soon, so I'm looking forward to that.
No, it was cold as fuck.
Keep your negative 30. I'll stay in the 70s. Yeah, I prefer this weather.
Yeah, the worst part is we get negative double digits deep into them, and in the summers we can hit triple digits pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it?
I hit triple digits easily.
It's like living in purgatory. You're boiled alive in the summer and then you freeze in the winter.
We be packing the wood stove in the winter, cranking the AC.
Oh man, that sucks.
We don't have AC.
Oh, even worse.
You just find your favorite box fan.
I feel that one. I got 2 box fans.
I got one staring at me right now.
I got one above the wood stove.
One's
in my kitchen, one's in my living room. I mean, I don't have any AC either. That's rough.
I couldn't do it, man. Fuck that. Too hot.
living next to the ocean, I gotta have that AC.
Well, you guys get cold weather once in a while. Like, what was it, like 3 years ago? We had a bad, like ice.
We don't talk about 22, okay? We don't talk about we don't talk about 21, okay? We don't talk about the year 21.
Your version of an ice storm is your version of like an ice storm is the lightest of like dustings for us.
Oh no. Okay, but you don't understand. I lived on a farm where we had to constantly, for like 5 hours straight during the ice storm, each morning and night, 5 hours straight, break ice, refill waters, make sure the horses were warm and fed, like constantly, like 30 plus horses.
Yeah, I remember when you went through that because, I have an uncle that lives down in Texas, and that's what he was calling about. Was like, he goes, "Well, everything's frozen. This is great."
Oh, it was like 4 days straight where we didn't have power. I remember our house being like 50 degrees. We were running fireplace, and we were all huddled up in our living room with the fireplace. It was horrible. Horrible. Right. It was like the end of Falling season 2, which made it worse. And then on top of that, I was really big into keeping fish for saltwater and predatory fish, and I lost like 60% of my fish during that freeze.
It's currently 37.
And I got I'm talking like I had expensive fish too.
It's currently 37 right now. And our wood stove is just barely like it's a bed of coals.
But that lake effect warning is not looking good.
I'm not kidding.
Over here at 61 degrees.
I go outside dressed just like this: tank top, shorts, flip flops, walking the dog in like a foot of snow. Yeah, that's one thing that always cracks me up is just like you get people from like Texas and like Florida, and it drops below 60, and they're getting out their friggin' ski pants and winter jackets.
Okay, that's a different story now.
Is it?
Yeah, because I lived in the Panhandle in Texas for like 3 years. Okay, so I know at least Texas cold where it snows.
So
I at least know that.
So is it like where you get like an inch of snow and they like shut down the cities?
Where I was in Lubbock. So, I mean, we would get, at least, 3 inches of snow a year. And unless it really got bad where it was snow and ice, that's when they would shut things down. But at the same time, I worked at a bank, so it's like you have to be there at the bank, or else, if the bank shut down, everybody else is shut down pretty much. Oh man! I think there was like 1 or 2 times where they had to actually shut down the bank because of ice and snow.
We consistently have about 3 feet of snow on the average.
Wild. I'm good. I'll take my sand.
I mean, right now, currently, I'm not joking, we have a snow bank that's like the size of like a Yeti cooler, and that's it for like the entire yard. And I'm just looking at that like, why can't you buzz off with the rest of them? Yeah. On the contrary, Mim, I build like DOT snowplow trucks, like, the big trucks that they send down the interstates to clear snow. So when it starts snowing, they basically say, get to work and start building. Yeah, the only time
I'll drink to that one.
The
I'll drink
on-
to that one.
The only time my company will like send us home is if we lose power essentially. And we still wait for like 2 hours before they do anything.
Damn, 2 full hours?
If we're at work and we lose power, they say, "All right, wait 2 hours, and if the power don't come on, everyone go home. If it does, get back to work."
Shit.
Well, it's one of those around here we get. I mean, our weather is just absolutely chaotic, pretty much all the time, and
Wow.
we get a lot of wind, a lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of heat. Our seasons, you can.
Everything but the snow. Everything but the snow sounds about accurate for me.
Yeah,
Replace the snow with hurricanes, and then there you go. We're good.
that's the best part. We really don't have to deal with hurricanes, floods, earthquakes. We don't have any of that really.
I
However,
don't know, wasn't there an earthquake in New York in 24?
the term earthquake, we didn't get it. And the term earthquake in New York just means like everything kind of buzzed for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Half the time we don't even notice. I live really close to Fort Drum, that big base in New York, and we just hear loud banging and everything shaking all the time from the jet. So it's one of those things like it really kind of just blends in with all of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of military around here.
You run anything competitive?
What was that?
Beyblade wise? You run anything competitive wise, Beyblade wise?
There's nothing around here.
Damn.
Let me put it to you this way. I'm about the same distance to the border of Canada than I am my nearest Walmart. There's
That's
Use
right.
Tusk Mammoth.
Right.
It's really good. Trust.
there is nothing around here.
Fair enough. I've gotten used to South Texas being the hot spot for Beyblade.
Yeah, like so let me break down how New York works.
Recently started going to turn around.
There's the city, which is the bad part of the state that you should stay away from at all costs.
Fair enough.
There's what people consider to be upstate, which is like Albany. I hate to break it to you, that's like the middle.
It's like the middle.
I'm like
I consider like the Adirondacks. You know.
I'm from the Adirondacks. That's upstate.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm like 4 hours from Albany. I'm like three and a half hours from Albany. I'm upstate. I'm like 3 hours north from them.
That's an easy day's drive.
Oh, it's an easy day drive. I just avoid that part of the state at all costs. I literally rather go any direction other than directly south in my state. It's one of those
Fair enough.
pick any other direction.
I mean, I'm not in the greatest parts, but I'm not in the worst part, okay? I mean, I like where I'm at. I mean, I'm 3 hours Houston, 3 hours Austin, 2 hours San Antonio.
I know where all of those places are for once. I know where all of those places are for once. Yeah,
I did catch the solar eclipse this year. Drove up north about an hour and 45 minutes. It was cool. Kids loved it.
As I was waiting for my shift to start at work, I sat right in the back of my Hyundai I got a 24 Hyundai Santa Cruz, so I sat right in the bed of that thing, threw my welding helmet on, and just stared up at the sky.
Nice. Fucking A, man.
I just put on my shades and stared at it. I'm like, oh, pretty.
It burns.
Glass.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I recorded
Yeah,
part of it, but the
God.
video didn't turn out too good.
Oh, I got that 2020 vision. I got the spare vision to spare.
Lucky you.
I don't have to pay for that DLC extension.
I see everything in 4K.
I'm signing this up for the consequences because I didn't pay for the DLC.
Womp womp.
Yeah. What's really annoying me about the
Why don't
weather
you
right
let
now,
the stream is delayed.
well, one thing that drives me nuts, as you guys can tell by my icon, I ride motorcycle a lot. And what is killing me right now is New York is part of the Rust Belt, which means we use salt and calcium chloride on our roads.
Yeah, it's horrible.
My Equinox, you will be missed. It eats the cars.
Yep.
So
Bring rock out a few years back.
the thing that I hate the most is spring hits. Cool. No more snow. Bare roads, but I can't get the motorcycle out yet just because I know there's salt and calcium chloride on it. I want to see those scrapers out on the road, and I want like 2 solid weeks of nothing but rain. And right now, we got the weather for it. We got the bare roads. The only thing we got is a metric ton of salt and sand on the roads. And I'm just staring at the bike in my garage like, do something. Oh, it drives me nuts.
Oh, Max, I got a question for you.
I might have an answer.
Maybe. All right. What's the odds we get you for Beyblade South or not Beyblade South? Beyblade Awards 2025. Come on down in person. It'll be in September.
Ooh.
Well, that completely depends.
The 21st night of September?
No, it'd be earlier.
That
Probably like the 6th.
that completely depends.
All right.
I'd have to pretty much start saving now for a plane ticket.
Yeah.
And it's also going to depend on how much time I get off of work.
That's fair.
Just because, I've only been working at the company that I work at I'm coming up on my 3rd year. So I work the night shift. I work from 3:30 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning. So I work 4 10s. And I get, I think I get 42 hours off, I think. That I get to break up for the year, but then we also have I'm not going to get into it. I like keeping work and everything else separate, but we get extra like union time and stuff like that. And I'd have no problem saving it. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've got a motorcycle trip planned with my dad. My buddy in Tennessee really wants to have me down for his wedding. And then of course there's all the personal stuff. So yeah. I'm not going to make a promise, but I will.
No, I'm just putting the offer out there. I'm saying it right now. September, probably. Let me look real quick because it always happens early September when the recording happens. So probably September 6th is when we're going to have the recording of it, the live recording in the tournament.
How long would I need to be there for?
I mean, if you really wanted to, you probably. It all depends if we turn it into a 1 day or 2 day thing. I mean, if you flew in, if you flew, there we go, flew in on the 5th of September and then left on the 7th, you're chilling. Like, if you came in early morning, Friday on the 5th, you're chilling.
Okay, that I could do because I get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Hey, perfect. I know for a fact, like 95%, Metal and Elliot will be there. There's a good chance Illinook will be there as well. Crazy Aries will be there.
I know Crazy Aries and Illinook. I don't know those other two.
Yeah, I mean, did you watch any awards? You watched them, right?
I haven't. I really need to. The only reason I haven't is because you asked me to react to it.
Max.
Oh man.
Okay. You missed some lore.
I
spoil it for you.
I won an award, didn't I?
You won an award, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw the statistic posted for it.
Yeah, you won an award. You won, I believe, Rising 3D Creator.
Yeah, that's 3D Creator, I believe it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. It's been since September.
The only reason that I haven't watched it is because you asked me to do a review on it. So I was waiting till I had time.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to do a review if you don't want to. You know, if it was in September, October, it'd be like, okay, maybe sure if you had the time. But now I don't care. You know, it's much later in the year, and we're going into 25.
My thing is I wanted to keep true to my word, but also I had a lot of projects come up.
Hey, you're all good, man. You're all good, bro. The behind the scenes stuff that has taken place during the awards, absolutely insane. I had some stuff that fucked me over. I'm not going to go about it on stream. If you want to talk about it, you know, privately,
Yeah.
Down. But I had a big creator kind of screw me over just a little bit on the awards. I had a sponsorship pull out of nowhere, and I had to pay them back.
Ooh.
I'm not going to say who.
Oh, yeah. Don't say nothing because I unfortunately, man, I would absolutely jump on any darn near any sponsorship that came my way. But I did buy the hat.
Go if you're not already sponsored by Bates and Bricks or Mall Toys. Go straight for it. Oh, you got the hat too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember you.
I was gonna wear it when I did my review to it. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't particularly care for this style of trucker hat, but I do like it. It's good quality. They run a little big, I find. I do like it though. It's solid quality.
I appreciate that. That's good for, you know, the brand I use for my merch. That's a good thing because I didn't get the hat, but I got the T-shirt and stickers, and those were good.
I don't get what the string is for on the hat though. That don't make much sense to me. I mean, I get
there's a string.
Yeah, like the hat, like that band that goes around it. It's a Ren, was that you that said that?
I have no clue what that's for. That's new to me.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Maybe it's to keep the shape of it.
I'll see you too, Matt. My only guess is so it can keep that contour line, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer the old British flat cap, which mine's out in the kitchen. I'm not kidding. I have an entire closet full of hats. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've got probably 30, 40 hats in this room right now.
Damn.
Oh, that was Matt that said that. But yeah, I guess I'll have to talk to Bays and Bricks and Mall of Toys. I've bought in.
No, definitely. Bays and Bricks will
Oh!
definitely get you, man. Definitely.
Who-
All toys might be here or there. Just all depends on how they're feeling.
Yeah,
But yeah, Bays and Bricks. Talk to them, email them. They'll get back to you in like a week.
I
At the
will.
max.
I will say,
Yeah,
as a consumer, I have purchased from both, and I've been very happy with both.
Yeah.
And also, my mom just rifled in my my flat cap from the kitchen.
Oh, that's clean. That's clean.
Well, I'm fat. There ain't no two ways about it. I'm short. I'm fat. I have a hard time finding pants that fit me right. Anything that fits me like in
fatter
the
than you.
anything that fits me in the leg is too big in the waist. I don't like belts because it digs into my stomach. I wear suspenders, so
Yeah,
I
stopped playing games a long time ago.
I wear suspenders and a British flat cap. People just look at me like I walked out of a different era.
You know what? That's based, though. That is quite based. Personally, me, I like wearing suits. I like the belts. I like the ties. I like the expensive suits.
Mim, as you saw from my contribution last year to the Beyblade Awards, I will not be doing a suit and tie.
You had the. I will say this. Out of everybody who put stuff in, you had the absolute best one because there was a story to it. It was just unexpected, and it was just the best thing to watch out of nowhere because it got so many people off guard. It beat out people like Illinois, and Illinois had some good.
Yes!
That's crazy.
Without a doubt, yours was my favorite by far. It was you, Illinois, and Cypress. Those were my three favorite ones I got for the awards.
Let me put it to you this way. If I don't go to it in person, I will make an even better skit for it this year. For 25.
Oh, hell yeah.
I will do an even better skit for it this year, and I will go way crazier.
Oh, hell yeah.
Had I planned better, I would have dug the road out so I could have jumped the grizzly even better. But
oh, hell yeah.
What were you gonna say? I kind of cut you off there.
Do you know what Beyblade South is?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so Beyblade South is going to be, I think it's going to be one of the biggest Beyblade tournaments ever held in the United States. I could be wrong there. We are currently, last time I checked, we were at 106 people participating in the tournament and over 50 people watching the tournament.
No kidding.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
And it's a 3-day event. There's a fair amount of Baytubers coming on out for that. I can't say exactly who's coming out to it because some people have wanted to say quiet about it, but I can confirm that Crazy Aries is going to be out there. So if you want me to, do any battles that you request through me to battle Aries, let me know. Or any type of collabs.
Let me put it to you this way: when it comes to like Beyblade X stuff, I'm so far out of the loop. It's not even funny.
I'm battling. We set up something where we're going to be battling our burst bays against each other, or a custom burst.
Right.
Now that I would love to put some people in their place with, especially if it came down to 3D printed. I got some bones to pick.
All right, so I leave on the 10th for Beyblade South. So if you can get something down to me by then. Or I have a 3D printer now. I could 3D print something.
No way.
I might have some stuff to send. I might send.
All right.
Let me put it to you this way. I gotta. Are any of you guys, Mako? I know you probably are. Mim, are you caught up with any of the bays that are on the list?
I know Is V6 on the list, right?
V6 has never been on the list.
Okay, was it V8?
V8
Okay,
actually,
there's more of a V8.
V8 just got knocked off the list.
Okay, I haven't seen your updated list. I saw one of your older ones, I think back in October, somewhere during the fall.
Not even close to being the same.
Okay,
There's-
I remember just watching one during. I remember watching one during the fall.
There's only 2 bays that are left from the list back then. There's only 1 from the original list.
Oh man, I'm really out of the loop for this one.
So
Alright, who's all on it?
okay.
Who's on it?
So number 6 is a newer creation of mine. Actually, they're all pretty new. Number 6 is actually an attack type. It is based off. It's supposed to be a wasp. But I actually made it with pincers from a praying mantis. The bay is called Stinger. It is a right spin attack type. Its combo is Sting Spiral. It is part of Flash. Yeah, it's part of his interlock system. Number 5 is Deep Impact Shark, which again is an interlock bay. It's in a left spin attack type. The frame sticks way out, and the combo is 7 Punch Quake. This thing is horrifying to use. Number 4, which is a personal favorite of mine, is the updated Cold Roll Brutus with the added attack points, because anyone who makes a fully circular 3D printed Beyblade and says that it's good is wrong and quite frankly bad at modeling.
They're just lying to you at that point.
Oh yeah, Brutus has attack points, and I continue to try to make them bigger and bigger, while still sticking to his theme. But his combo is Taper Shield, which is essentially a massive WD from like Earth Eagle. One of my favorites is the number 3, which is was going to be the bay that I used in my current 3D printed tournament, but people voted for me to use Overload, and this bay got bumped off, which is Big Game Grizz, and its combo is Legacy Evolution Dash. Are you watching the stream, Mim?
Yeah, no, I'm watching the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big, bro.
This thing
Bro,
is
that looks like a big rose.
So,
Yeah.
Rose and Grizz are 2 different. I know they look very similar. Rose, like 90% of the time, has 8 points. Grizz has 6, and Grizz is actually oval.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I noticed it.
Okay, I see the difference.
he hits hard. And then number 2 is, of course, the only DB bay or Sparking Bay, whatever the hell this thing is. Demon King Shatter 1A Extreme Dash.
Demon King has always been on the list for the most part.
At the moment, I think actually he did fall off the list once, and then he jumped from off the list to number 2 in one live stream.
Okay.
At the moment, I think he could take number 1 because number 1 has an attachment that actually broke. Which is, of course, my switch frame bay. Anyone who knows good 3D printed bays, this is Instaburst Ion Backlash layer key, which I asked for permission, and he said he gave it to me for Jackal. Jawjammer Jackal, what is this? Over. It's on Over Feral, which is a custom driver. And this bay actually has 2 modes. It's got low mode, and then high mode, where the layer gets.
That's what we need. The 8.9 bays are so high.
This thing is an absolute monster.
Wow.
And for anyone who follows Model Bladers for oh shoot. I should know this. I was one of the first people to get a heads up on it. Nick's his custom system. I know the name of it. I'm totally blanking on it. For those who watch Model Bladers, in the very early release of Nick's custom system, Jackal was one of like the top 4. So Jackal has been all around as one of my best bays just because of how steady he fights. I'm totally blanking. It swaps over at midnight, don't it? Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes, fellas. 10
Yeah.
minutes.
10 minutes for you. 10 minutes for you.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes for
Was
me.
that first in there?
Aren't you Mako, you're on the same time zone as me, right?
I am Central Time Zone in the U.S., so it's currently about to be 11 for me.
Oh, so you're an hour behind.
It's 8:50 for me. It's 4 hours till midnight.
Holy cow. I'm a time traveler.
Yeah.
Yep. I always come in first place. I'm going to be the first one to 2025.
No. It was, do you know who Juice is?
Nope.
The juice is loose.
He's an Australian Baytuber. He runs in the same friend group as me.
Hmm.
It was funny because the first thing he woke up to was me calling him in 2025.
Wow.
He's like, ah, shit. We're going straight into 2025 with me calling him.
That's the wrong voice to hear. Yeah. Oh, I'm ready to get this year done and over with.
I don't know. This year felt like a two-parter for me. It was like the first, all the way up until the Beyblade Awards, it felt like it was 2024, and then after the awards, just felt like a completely different year.
This year felt like absolute torture for me.
Oh, really?
Yep, one of my worst years to date.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's not good, man.
No, I ended up losing a few people along the way.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I lost contact with a bunch of people that I really wanted to get out of my life. Got the year off to a bad start, and then I ended up unfortunately losing a very big role model in my life. I'm not gonna say any of the details of it, but I did unfortunately lose my my grandfather this year, and I lost another family member, and then a very close friend. He was someone we went out motorcycle riding with, but he was a pretty good dude, and unfortunately, I just started, just stuff happens, unfortunately, and it always seems to go in threes, but just got to do your best, keep moving.
Yeah. Life doesn't stop for nothing.
No, unfortunately, got to move ahead in life, and try to put the bad behind you and just keep the hammer down and do your level best.
Yeah.
And with any luck for 2025, we'll we'll have a little bit of a little better go of it.
It's always wishful thinking.
Oh yeah. Got some big plans. Got a few more ideas for the tattoo, and yeah, more tattoos, more videos. A lot of big plans, and unfortunately, more money. Money.
I spent around $3,000 on my car this year.
Ooh, nice.
Well, at the
just in problems though. That was the problem. It was just in problems I had to fix.
end of 2023, I bought a brand new Hyundai Santa Cruz. And March of this year, I bought a 2022 Harley Davidson 883. I rode that for like half the summer, and then I ended up trading it in, and I bought a 2024 Harley Street Bob.
Wasn't that the one you dented?
Yes, it's the one. It's the one that I'm hopefully going to be fixing within the next week or so. I got the new tank for it. I got the flush mount fuel cap for it. I'm gonna do that in the spring when the tank is warmer. I've got forward foot controls for it, so it's going from the mids to the forwards. I've got grips, different switches for like my controls. Cleated foot pegs. I'm gonna do a lowrider ST. I'm probably gonna do the Advan Black one. Advan Black lowrider ST fairing for the front. I'm gonna have that custom wrapped. I'm not gonna spoil anything on that because that's gonna be a big reveal for how I'm gonna have it wrapped. I want to do Viking hard mini bags. I might do either a Lapera. See, I haven't decided if I'm going to go with a Lapera or a Saddleman. I got a couple seats in mind. I got risers in mind. I already did the sissy bar to it. I'm looking at a couple different brands of exhaust. Just got a lot planned for the bike.
Oh, real quick, you want to go over what I got right? You remember last year how I did the prediction video
No.
for 2024?
No, I do not.
I did a prediction like a bingo sheet for 2024 Beyblade.
Oh.
T-minus 3 minutes for New Year's for me.
Let me see if I can't find it real quick. I'll send it to you just to see how much I got right.
That's not what we want. Yep, 11:57, almost there. Good riddance. I did have a lot of good times though. Me and Dad did the Americade. Had a blast with that. Did Whiteface Mountain. Did a bunch of day rides for it. Did a benefit ride for one of the groups. In our local area, we did a memorial ride. Got my 660 Grizzly going the way I wanted it again. Met some really good people. Got some negative people out of my life. Definitely made some for life friends. Picked up a bunch of projects. Made a lot of memories. And overall, it's been kind of a crappy year. Just because the bads really kind of outweighed the goods, but there were definitely some good moments in there. But I'm
just happy every morning when I wake up. Why, you know?
Well, with any luck, we will be having a better 2025. With any luck, making some more money, getting my bike the way I want, and just getting in a good place. Also, working towards a house. That's one of my obviously big goals, but working towards a house. All right, gentlemen, we are T minus 60 seconds for 2025. All I can say is
I got a minute and 12 seconds.
all I can say is good friggin' riddance to this year.
Another year for me, or another hour for me before I'm with you.
Yeah.
Party all night.
And it will be
What is
3
your
hours
out?
till
I'm at
midnight.
55.
Why didn't
50
you?
seconds.
Coming down to it. I don't know why it won't let me.
Almost 30 seconds.
I got 35 on mine.
How's that, Ma?
30.
20 seconds. Oh, there it is, guys. That is 20.
Yippee! Happy New Year, guys.
That is.
Happy New Year. Happy Max.
Happy New Year to all New Yorkers.
Eh. Mom's screaming from the other side of the house. Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
There. Ready to be.
For me to wait an hour for my New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye, Luxo.
Are you in here, Luxo?
But just said Happy New Year and dipped.
Yeah. That's great. So yeah, I am going to once I end the stream, I'm going
All right,
to.
Max, I will see you later.
All right, I'll catch you around,
See
man.
you later, man. Bye, man.
Hey, Ren. Yeah, so after this stream is over, I'm gonna start spit it out. I'm going to start editing my first tournament battle.
That will be fun. I can't wait to see how that goes.
Yeah. Seems how essentially it's gonna be posted tonight, or tomorrow. I don't have any of the names or stuff written down. Actually, everyone's been sending them in general for me. Thank God. So I am fighting Goopy in the first round. So it is Blackout Diabolos versus Overload. Oh God, I know who this is. Luxo and Terravolt is going to be fighting you, Mako. We got,
I'm happy about that. Happy.
we've got the smallest bay versus the biggest. Actually, are you the biggest? Yes, you are. You are the biggest.
Should be close.
Honestly, I think that's going to be a really close matchup. We've got. Where'd the other one go? We have Slide. Got Slides and Aqua versus Bay Boy. That's going to be an interesting one. We've got. God, I know who this is. It's TT and Jumping Jack versus 70-80. And Art Noavu, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the most random matchup that we could have gotten. And I'm really actually looking forward to seeing it. I think it might be a lot closer than people think, just because Noavu has really weak burst resistancy. And who knows? I think Jumping Jack might just have the punch to do it. Oh God, I know who this is. We got JH Games Everything versus. Same to him. We got Bully Maguire and Sky Kratos versus JH Games Everything and Ultimate Crystal Knight, I believe it is. This one I'm really looking forward to. I think that's going to be a fantastic match. And then finally, for the bye run, we have Shadow Gashiro. Well, they were supposed to get the bye run, but they're going to be fighting our bonus guest, who I am going to start printing out tomorrow. Shadow Gashiroku or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I have no clue how to pronounce her name. Like Tttres. Your guess is as good as mine, probably better. I can't pronounce English words, let alone that one. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil who the bonus guest is, but it is someone from my Discord server. I think it's going to be a fantastic turnout. But yeah, Mako, honestly, looking at it at face value, I think most people would assume that Arachne is going to get it. But honestly, I think it's a dead even match. I think Terravolt. I think it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I really do.
I actually agree, and in fact, from my own personal perspective, smaller bases scare me a lot more than big ones, just because of how physics works. I mean, a smaller sphere rotating on a single pivot is going to have a lot more force behind its swing than a larger one. With all that being said, I am terrified of Terravolt, but I think this is actually going to be a really close battle.
Weight-wise, I think he's actually heavier, just because of around. But if you look, the disc is only slightly smaller than the layer, so he is really maximizing. He's maximizing pretty much everything. Legacy is going to be good.
He's just not more. It's going to be a tough fight. It really, really will be.
It
on
is.
both sides.
And the thing is, both of you have very similar traits. If you hit the Tornado Ridge, you're going to take off like a bat out of hell, just like him. He might actually have it just pure stamina-wise with Venture. Venture's really good with stamina.
Venture is genuinely probably the best Beyblade burst driver you can get, because it does everything so fantastic.
It does.
It is a jack of all trades, except it's mastered every trade.
Yeah, it has maxed out every trait. And the issue with Arachne being as big as she is, the odds of him missing are slim.
Exactly. It's going to make it kind of like a Achilles heel for Arachne.
Oh, and spoilers, we're doing it in the Hasbro MFB stadium, the black one.
Oh, I love that stadium.
I'm not going to spoil it, but it was nothing but a pushing match with me and Goopy.
Oh, good lord.
It really held the two of us back because Unite really couldn't pick up the speed that it needed to. And let's face it, my bay pretty much relies on momentum. And
in a tight arena, it can't build that momentum up to be able to do much of any good.
And with them both being opposite spins and very mobile, it was constant hits. And they're very close in weight too. Combo wise, they're very similar. My layer is heavier. But other than that, I mean, it's a good match, I'll tell you that. Honestly,
I can't wait.
I think Jumping Jack versus Novaru is going to be a really interesting match.
That's the funny thing. Jumping Jack's match against what's his opponent's bay name?
It's that Novaru. It's this one. It's the gorgeous bay, minus the ugly chip. That's mine.
Okay.
Have a good
Jumping
one.
Jack's battle
Because
Jumping Jack's battle up against that bay, though, is probably personally, it's probably my most anticipated battle because I'm really, really curious as to see how it'll go out, considering both bays are so interesting.
it's on illegal bearing. It's got really decent attack power, and its burst resistancy is very, very low. Jumping Jack is on 1- lift operate. It's not super light. Honestly, if it at any point it gets like 3-0, I think at 3 points I'm going to take the frame off just because I think it'll do better without the frame. I think it's got a solid shot. I really don't see a bay in here that's overpowered. I would say probably the closest one to overpowered would probably be Arachne, just because of its size and weight. But
Yeah.
and its insane burst resistancy. But Arachne, it's going to fall flat on the stamina level, and also taper and friction. It's a low combo.
Exactly.
If
Arachne has
Arachne's gonna be screwed if it gets knocked off balance.
exactly. As a little bit of an information tidbit, Arachne, ever since its perceptive creation, I've always wanted it to be something that's on the outside, it looks incredibly overpowered, but if you look at every model, it genuinely has always been its weak knockback resistance that has been the crutch against it.
Because the original Arachne, I remember the driver was loop. Was it 2 glaive loop? Or was it just 2?
It was 0 bump loop.
0 bump loop, that was it. Because it had really good hits, but it just could never go the distance.
Exactly.
I think slides, Aqua, I don't think this bay is overpowered because it's using the Hasbro Giga, and I would like to defend slides on one thing here. Everyone sees high extend plus dash, and they automatically see it in stamina mode, and they're like, oh, he's just using it for a stamina combo. He specifically asked me to run it in defense mode so it would have some more attack. Neither one of my high extend plus dashes have enough performance tip to run in defense mode. It becomes an attack type.
Oh, wow. So he's just going full attack mode.
Nope. I talked it through with him, and he said I'd like to run stamina mode then.
Okay.
Hey, Jay.
So he couldn't quite do what he wanted.
He's not super heavy because he's using the Hasbro Giga. And I think it really balances it out. He's not super heavy. He's not super round. He's a really good balance layer. but just the nature of how that bay is laid out is the only reason I'm saying it's slightly overpowered. I'm not saying that it is, but out of the lineup, it, to the naked eye, is in the best shape. I think Art Noavu, the one that's fighting Jumping Jack, that would be in the same category if it weren't for the burst resistancy.
That makes sense.
I think if it fights another left spin, it may struggle. But there are only 3 left spins in this tournament.
Oh, that's not a lot.
No. I had.
Whoa, hold on. That's really not a lot. Left spins are incredibly popular. That baffles me.
There were originally supposed to be 4, but I did more testing, and Overload seemed to do best overall against what I tested against in right spin. It seemed to have the most consistent performance.
So you selected right spin for overpowered. Got it. Or
Overload.
Overload.
Yeah, so it's got really good pushing power. Well, it wouldn't have done much, Jay. Seeing as how we weren't allowing dual spins, I think you have a really good shot. Other than the fact that your burst resistancy, your first click is super, super weak. Your second one is pretty good. Your combo, Karma, Destroy, Dash. I think you've got a good shot. There are 4 attack types, and well, actually, I'm a balance type. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 attack types in this, and I think you're probably going to hit second hardest. If I had to lay it out, it would be this one, which I can't pronounce its name. This one's definitely going to hit the hardest. It's on Karma Extreme Metal. Its burst resistancy isn't fantastic, weirdly enough, though. But I think this thing's going to be an absolute monster. It's got uppercut attacks, massive smash attacks. This Bay's going to be a beast. Jumping Jack. I see what he was going for. I think the Bay has a lot of potential on another combo, but I'm going to set that comment completely aside because he's going for a theme, an aesthetic, and he's sticking to it, and I like that. Terravolt is going to be scary. It's on a really, really good combo. It's super small. Its burst resistancy, I'd say, is middle of the road. And then there's UJH, but you're probably you and Terravolt have the best long game stamina. If the battle gets dragged on, you guys are gonna go pretty hard. Overload.
Ironic, both will be battling each other. Continue though.
Overload is technically a balance type. My combo is 10 Vortex Iron, which is attack, but it really fits more of the balance type aesthetic for how it hits. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty good tournament. I think we've got a really good layout. Bay Boy, I really like his Bay. Seeing it in person, it just seems like there's a lot going on with it. But I think it's got a good shot. There's 2 balance types? No, there's 3 balance types in this. But yeah, I think it's got. I really don't see any bays that are too overpowered, really.
Hey, it's been great hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, for sure. match again soon,
Yep.
and I'll get into that tournament one day.
Yep. Yep. We're gonna do another tournament before the end of the year. We're doing 2 this year, so
Nice.
Okay. I already can't wait for the second round.
have a good one,
Yes,
buddy.
you too.
So can we get any spoilers on what you might be running for the second one?
My apologies. Hold on. Your mic is cutting out in a really weird way, and I can't hear you very well, so I couldn't even hear.
Yeah, it does that after an hour.
That's fair. Anyways, what'd you ask?
Can we get any hints towards what you might be using in the second tournament this year?
Okay, so I actually have a plan.
Oh,
So I'm going to do a tiny spoiler for what I have thought of for this year. Now, for 2020, I was pretty much completely absent in 2024, and that's actually with good reason. Personal life came into a very big equation, and now I got to think about a lot of exterior things like my job, college, all that extra stuff, right? So
adulting.
YouTube had to take a sit back.
Yeah. Everyone hates adulting.
Of course. But I feel that in 2025, I have more resources available to me now, so I will be doing a lot more with YouTube. And instead of doing the silent death that I unfortunately was planning to do for the channel, I actually plan to return and give a lot of the bays that haven't received much treatment the rightful attention they deserve. So you very easily for the next tournament could see a bay like Draugr or Onslaught, or maybe even what was it called? Ooh, there's a really old one.
Smite.
Smite might make an appearance, but that entirely depends upon whether or not I can get a functioning version of him up and running, because the current Smite's very, very powerful. The issue with Smite is I've made close to 30 versions, and only 4 of them turned out how I wanted them to, which is insane.
I will say, I am a huge Smite fan. He is also, I will say, he has actually gained the attention of many people. And I haven't talked with Quake in a while, but last time when we were doing stuff together, he was actually very interested in Smite. He thought it was a very good bay.
Of course.
Personally, for me, I would like to see Smite. Like the last one that we had on the channel, the Switch Frame one, I really liked it. The orange one that fought Shatter.
Yeah, War Smite.
Yep.
Not even technically, that Smite was the apex of Smite's attack power, because that thing was ridiculously brutal.
The only thing that I would like to see change is I would like to see Smite actually have the ability to burst.
Okay, I actually am happy to tell you that the current Smite version, which one is this one?
Didn't you send me the files to that a while ago and I never did anything with it?
I did.
I
can't remember its name.
I need to fix that. Hold on, I can scroll back and look.
Fantastic.
Okay, this is
That
okay.
current Smite being a switch frame bay, it has burst resistors, but they're actually really, really small, so they make a difference, but it's not so much at once where A, you need to sand it down because you really don't, and B, they actually just, you can feel it, but it's not so much where it's like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Rebirth Smite is what you have it as.
Okay, that was the temporary name then. Because that's typically what I do for temporary titles, is give them something that just sounds like a basic stereotypical thing. But this current Smite model, the 5-bladed design, actually is 100% burstable. It has gotten very close multiple times against many different bays of mine, but it hasn't yet
but since it's gotten close, that definitely shows that it can. War's Might not being able to burst was my biggest dislike about it. I really, really hated it because it wasn't even borderline. It felt like cheating, and I don't enjoy that. So we fixed that.
I'm going.
That a lot.
Ooh, hold on, I gotta. Max, should I send my interlock Shark Bay in the next tournament called Super King Shark? Yeah, we're probably going to do another interlock tournament. So go ahead, JH. You can send it just in DMs, and maybe we'll have to have a shark battle. Actually, I was thinking about doing something that I've never done before.
Oh, do tell.
I have always done my tournaments as is you get the chance to battle the list.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking there were 2 bays that were supposed to had the chance to fight in this tournament. One was Overload, and the other one was Big Grizz.
This is going to be interesting.
Big Grizz is currently the number 3 on the list. And if you guys did not watch its debut music video that I did, please go watch it. I am very proud of how that turned out.
I think it was really good.
It was my first 3D printed Beyblade to successfully burst Guilty Longinus. And
oh my god.
It burst it without taking, I think it took half damage, but it kind of always just takes half damage. But it hit it hard. And I was almost thinking about using Big Grizz in the next tournament.
I think that would be intimidating, but not a bad play to do.
Because
I would like to see.
No, keep going.
Just for myself, I would like to see something that hasn't been seen in a minute. Because one bay, I'm gonna be honest, my favorite bay of yours, and it has been for the longest time, has always been Wolg. And I haven't seen much of him in a hot minute. And I can't wait until the day he comes back. But that would be something that would throw a curveball, in my opinion. That's only my opinion. You do what you wish.
So there's actually been issues with Wolg. So my good friend Junie Gatsu, he is he is a fantastic 3D modeler, and out of the goodness of his heart, he made me a new Wolg. I did a video with it, and I think it was mostly the filament I used and the tolerances of my printer. It was really brittle. And he did a lot of testing, and I saw the testing that he did, and it was fantastic. For whatever reason, when I printed it, it did not work right. And I think it was a mix between the filament I used and the tolerances of my printer specifically.
That would do it.
Also, he then made a version 2 because people ran their mouth about it, which really bothered me that someone would disrespect a gift that someone gave to me.
Yeah, that's not the move.
The version after that was really good, but it was kind of the same deal of it didn't quite hit like the original one did. So, and bays like JH Games' bay has that W on it. That is from Wolg. I did make a new Wolg. However, it had the same issue of when I got its attack power really ramped up like how it should be, it started failing in burst resistancy. Like, it was its biggest weakness. And Wolg has always been firearm themed. The first one, obviously, Gun Wolg. The second one was Blast Wolg. There was always issues with Blast Wolg, too. There were 3 versions of Blast Wolg. One of them split in half.
Oh my god.
Right down the friggin' middle. I think I still have it somewhere. And then there were the Wolgs that Junie made me. And they just... Wolg and Rhinox have the 2 biggest issues of any bay on the channel. Rhinox, I can't even get off the friggin' ground. And Wolg, the issue is Wolg was so good when it came out. I will make the statement, at the time of its release, I think it was the best 3D printed Beyblade out there until everyone started making them out of metal. And until Quake and Bacon released the first Samuraiser, Hero Samuraiser.
I actually will agree with your statement on that very strongly. There was not a lot of competition to realistically give Wolg a fight that
because Uppercut was a fantastic bay. We broke Uppercut twice with Wolg. I did a video with Quake and Insta. Wolg juggled Uppercut.
Yes, I remember that video.
I love that battle. Just because it was my first bay that I ever made, and it made me really happy that it did good. It did really, really good. And the issue is when you start so strong, it's hard to live up to it. And this is the newest Wolg. It's Dragon's Breath Wolg. It is Junie's attack pattern, and I took the lines from it and put it on top. It looks really good. Most of that is thanks to Junie. But it has the same issue. In right spin, it hits really hard because I didn't mess around with making it flippable, so like it was always a right spin. I did right spin was its push, left spin was its smash attack. Right spin was pretty much right at the threshold. So W means to win, so Crystal. Yeah, very, very fun, very funny. JH. It was pretty much pushing the limit of what those teeth could handle as far as like keeping it from bursting. So putting it in attack mode, it was backfiring on itself more than it was getting wins. So that project never really saw the light of day just because it's an issue with finding a system that works good with it. And
okay, continue.
June did a fantastic job, and I really like both the ones that he made. And I know I can modify it to be incredible. The issue is with how hard it hits is finding a system that works. Interlock is fantastic. Interlock is a fantastic system. Its burst resistancy actually allows for burst, which is my favorite part of it.
Of course.
Efficiency is really nice for those super hard-hitting bays. You're going to get less bursts and a little more launcher issues, I've noticed, but it's still a good system. It's just one of those things. It's finding something that works right for it. So whatever happened? The fact that you remember that, JH, is baffling to me. It never made it into production. The zombie bay that I designed, Primal Decay, never became an actual thing. Instead, that project got scrapped in place of Mosquito.
Not a bad choice, although a Final Decay would definitely have been really, really cool to see in the stadium.
So Primal Decay, essentially, its idea was it had really, really big attack points, and it had a lot of filler points that were designed to break off and decay. It was essentially meant to start life out as a balance type, and the more it got used, the more it would progress into being an attack type.
Kind of like how the typical Awakening concept works.
Yes, but it was before that was like the entire thing.
I came in to say Happy New Year's, everybody! Yippee!
Hi, Flash.
Anyways, Flash.
We've been talking good things about you.
Oh, what? Me? What? This is though.
Not to me, Flash. Not to me.
Well, thank you. I know it's New Year's in New York, so Happy New Year's.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year's to you guys when it comes around.
Yippee! I'm only 2 hours. Well, actually, 1.5.
I'm a half hour past.
We get it. You're living in the future. Gosh.
Oh, yeah. I guess you guys always just be used to coming in second place to maximum RPM.
Oh,
Only in
that.
time. Only in time. Only in time.
Well, there's a couple things you come in second on, but can't get into that on the channel.
I come in second because I cry myself to sleep.
I'm not going to make the comment that I was going to.
I come in second in many things.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
and you cry for many things too, but we're not going to get into that on camera.
Mm-hmm.
There it is! It clicked! There it is! It finally clicked. Well, thanks for coming in so we could bully each other, man. I appreciate it.
Yippee!
Yeah. And by the way, your system has been an absolute hit for my tournament so far. Interlock is my favorite system by far.
That was a little bit of the point.
When Quake sent me that first Interlock Bay of Terminate, oh my god, when I set my printer and I take off. I came home from work that day and I turned the light on in my room and I look at it and it literally took my breath away. I was like, this thing is gorgeous. How do I put it together?
See, Interlock bays are just good.
They are. I honestly think with enough trying, I think I can get Big Grizz, my Interlock Bay, to the top of the list. I honestly do think. Might need some more upgrades to beat Shatter though, because that was a little violent. Shatter really hurt Grizz.
So, I think it was Zio and Xeno. They were like the original people behind Interlock, and they kind of teased it. And then I was like, "Hey, I can help out with this because all of your stuff is like the most basic prototype stuff I've ever seen." And so I hopped on and basically like revamped everything. So I made the teeth, I made the launcher prongs, I fixed basically every issue the system had.
My biggest gripe about 3D printed Beyblades is the fact that the teeth always break. I love it because you can replace the teeth. They're super quick to print. My number one thing is the friggin' launcher tabs. This is the first system that just works like Hasbro or Takara.
So what was really funny to me was that
we are live, by the way.
Zeno and I aren't on like great terms anymore, but like at the time we were talking, And basically, he was like, "Yeah, I wanted something that could, be better than efficiency." And I'm like, then why the heck? Because originally, like 95% of it was just ripped from efficiency.
By the way, we are live. I've said that multiple times. So
Yeah, it's fine.
all right, all right. Well, I'm going for just one quick thing for my clarification. I picked neither side of the road. I'm right down the middle of it. Continue.
But it's like, that doesn't even matter. Like whose side you pick. It's like, oh, I wanted to make something better than efficiency. Okay, cool. And lots of people. Some people don't like interlock. Some people love interlock. I'm not like upset about that.
I think a lot of it literally comes down to who you're friends with.
Yeah.
I've been friends with both sides of it. I will say, I like how interlock is my preferred system, but every once in a while, I wish it just had a little bit more tolerance, like for like burst resistancy. Overall, I found that efficiency was a little tighter, but I always have like teething issues with efficiency.
So there's a reason why interlock's a little bit looser than efficiency, because most of the time it used to be way tighter, but all the files that are in this server are all fixed files that do not have the same tolerances, like the general and ranked.
I remember that because there were 2 people that burst you.
That had crazy tight tolerances, which was good for me, but overall was still a problem that was pointed out and was like a genuine issue for some people. And so I didn't know how your printer, the tolerances and stuff of how all of that comes out. So I decided to play it safe with the fixed files that are universally good for everybody.
Yeah, they're perfect. They're pinned in my server, I believe. And they're fantastic. I would love to find a way to basically make it just a server for those files so everyone can use it, because it is the best functioning system I have ever used.
The whole what's really funny is that the T system originally, the people who were making it with me, because this is I made the T system on my own, just like it was for a different system, and then that was never going to get finished, so I just brought them over here, which worked anyway. But the whole point was some of them had objections to the fact that you couldn't make dual spin teeth, but I'm like, the dual spin teeth and efficiency aren't that great, and all you have to do is just swap out the teeth anyway.
Exactly.
So it's not like you were missing much, and the whole point of the teeth was that they were supposed to get rid of every single issue I had with efficiency.
Yeah, and they do, because one major issue that I had with efficiency is it was damn near impossible to get those things into the actual bay, in and out.
And Asylum knows this when he printed one of my bays way back when. The teeth just they had a lot of leverage on them, and they would just the whole top would snap off.
I had that happen several times.
Which is why the teeth on these are a little shorter. Like they have less leverage for the whole top to snap off.
Yeah,
stubbier.
That is one thing. Giving up on burst resistancy essentially makes your bay, the longevity of it is better.
Yes. The teeth. So, I literally took hours and hours out of my day to figure out and test new teeth. I think I had 8 different teeth types before I made the standard. Which the standard work exceptionally well with all drivers. They have good resistance and aren't kind of weak. Those teeth don't wear down.
And
they're thick. And so
That-
they don't like wear down or anything.
That's another thing that I noticed is like in interlock or with like efficiency, 90% of the time everything was just super tight, but that's because like the tolerance that it actually had on the disc versus the layer, not even necessarily the teeth itself.
So for you, that was true, which is kind of why I made sure to give the updated templates, like the fixed template here, because for me, interlock is rather loose. Like they don't have super tight tolerances. My printer, we got it. So when I was printing a bunch of burst space, we got it pretty dialed in. And so it was like to an exact. If I adjusted a model to be 0.25 spacing between the disc and the blade, it would be that amount perfectly, and I wouldn't have any like high tolerance issues. But that's because I have a nice printer, and it was very dialed in at the time, and so I had like zero tolerance issues on basically anything. So like the general, for me, loose, it falls apart all the time. It bursts very often. But for everyone else, their printers or environment, whatever happens, causes their filament to expand just a little bit, and it causes it to be tight. But for me, it's not tight at all. Like my
Fascinating.
That was my big
tolerances are like super dialed in. So I had to like learn to make things a little looser so that other people could print them, which worked out pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, I've got zero complaints. Because I've even noticed it doesn't even matter Hasbro versus Takara Tomy parts. They just fit good.
Yeah.
I mean, because look at Stinger. That's on a Hasbro Spiral. That sucker hasn't bursted yet. It's come very, very close, but it hasn't bursted yet.
Yeah. So like I said, when I made the teeth, my goal was to like try and recreate Guilty.
Yep.
The Guilty teeth.
Yep.
And I eventually figured it out. And so, but I wanted that thickness and everything, and I wanted some depth in them. So the whole teeth assembly is just slightly thicker than most like efficiency. If you look at the slots and everything, all of the walls are thin, and I didn't like that because I experienced a lot of breaking issues, and I just like to print my teeth just like straight down up.
Yep.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, that's how I do mine. I always print mine vertically.
Yeah, so for me that it was just the logical decision to make them thicker.
Yeah.
And so that worked. And so now I had teeth that I still I don't anymore. I actually threw them away. But I had like 7 sets of just the standard teeth that had never worn down. Like they'd got a little worn, like they worn in, so the tolerances were a little looser, but they never got like bad. Like the teeth never disappeared or anything. The slopes never got like the slots and everything in the teeth never like really rounded out. And so the teeth that I could use, I literally could just pull one from like the first set of teeth I ever printed, and it was just as tight.
So one thing that I noticed is I really haven't had any breaking issues with the interlock teeth. I have broken, I think, 3 or 4 sets, but it has always been because the layer is super tight to the disc and it's literally creating tension against it.
For interlock or for efficiency?
For interlock.
For interlock?
Yeah, just because and it's mainly, I think it's been one bay, and it was Holy Crusader, because I didn't taper it right for the disc. I had the taper disc on it.
Oh, I see.
And it was just ever so slightly pulling tension on it because I didn't cut it right for the disc to fit. So it was super, super tight. But if it got, and it'd take a while. I was getting probably a month of hard
Yeah.
usage out of it, but just every once in a while it'd get hit real good one time and all of a sudden it'd go slack.
Yeah, so
But I've had very, very few issues with the teeth.
During my limited amount of usage with the current Arachne, the teeth have actually been probably one of the best things about the system.
Definitely.
And that goes along.
I break. The only bay that I have never broken on interlock, efficiency, is Reaper. And that thing is an absolute workhorse.
yeah.
And the crazy thing is, Reaper has the shallowest teeth that were around for that system. It's just for how the disc fits it pretty much. It just fits super tight. But I've broken like singular, like actually like broken the teeth off, like not break the whole housing, but like the actual teeth that hold it tension. I've broken the individual teeth off tons of times on those. I think I have broken one for interlock, and it was because I was using a bad filament. In fact, the only bay that I have ever had an issue with for interlock is Rock Slide Bolter, and it's because I used a silk color changing filament that just delaminates like crazy.
Yeah.
The white, the green, and the brown is so strong, and the black seems to be pretty decent too. But I think it was you that actually suggested running Hatchbox's brown. That and the
I think that was Nick's, because Nick's uses Matchbox Brown.
okay, it could have been Nick's. And I found that the Hatchbox sparkle green, like with the slight like silver sparkle to it,
Yeah.
really friggin' tough. Granted, you're gonna have that little sparkly dust around your drive gear all the time, but
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that Interlock's getting a little. I want to say second wind, but it's kind of a third wind at this point.
well, as long as
Yeah.
I keep holding 3D printed tournaments, which is going to be for the foreseeable future, I'm actually thinking about making it standard for my tournaments.
Yeah.
And I just gotta say, thank you to you and those who contributed to getting the system to where it is.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta help me. Nix's system, C4. There it is. It finally clicked. Holy
Yeah.
cow! I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of that earlier.
Yes.
Could not get there. Could not get there. I gotta start getting that stuff ready. Right when I was supposed to start doing that in Model Bladers is when I had some. Well, I've said enough on the stream. I'll tell you in person, but I had some major family complications.
Yeah.
But I'm finally in the right mindset to where I can start doing more stuff with both Model Bladers, my community, and my other channels. So it's time for me to pick up my end of the slack and start pulling my own weight again, because I have definitely let a lot of people down and myself down this year. But it's time to get back to it, I suppose.
Well, you have 2025 to keep trying.
Yeah, this has got. I gotta make this year mine. I gotta pull myself out of the rut that is 2024. Financially, emotionally, mentally, just everything about this year has been an absolute friggin' nightmare. And tomorrow, first video release for the efficiency tournament on the channel. I got an RC unboxing video to do for the Maximum RPM RC channel. starting the year off with plans. So I'm going to end the live stream, guys. Thank you, everyone who joined in. Thank you for everyone who joined me in Discord. And yeah, that's about it. Hope this video makes your year just a little bit better. Live life to the max and stay awesome. Here's to 2025.